Hi guys, I'm Andy and welcome to Life on a Bike with me, Andy. Today we are doing some more interval training and it's the over-unders and attacks. Now this is, I guess, to replicate dogs are going crazy behind me. To replicate in a crit race where you sort of travel along at a decent high wattage, and then there's an attack. Now, I'm not going to attack, but I'm going to assume someone else is going to attack, and I've then got to just have this surge of energy to keep up with them, and then it kind of cools down for 4 minutes. So that's what we're doing. So we've got a 15-minute warm-up. We've got 5 minutes at 250, which is just under my threshold. And then 1 minute at 370, which is pretty high for me, but a minute should be okay, it's fine, no worries at all. And then 4 minutes of rest at 150. So this, I mean, to be fair, looking at it, it doesn't appear to be, I don't think, overly taxing. I'm sure it will be, but we're going to give it a go. Now, excuse me. Now there is only when I did this, I think there was only 2 weeks left till Darley Moor. It's been a while since I've posted something up in that essence, but this is now where are we? We're Monday, and is it the 20th? 20th, so it's the 20th. So basically Darley Moor is on Saturday, so the time of me doing the audio, so it's all getting very very close, but you know, I'm quite excited about it. I've checked the weather and it's all looking pretty good. So all systems go, you know, barring injury or illness or whatever. It's all gonna go well. I'm hoping that the training that I have done, because I know what I've done up to date, you don't, will be good enough to, you know, to participate in the race, and you know my goal, hopefully 1 lap. I know that sounds a bit pathetic. It's like, oh, 1 lap. Unless you've done a crit race, they're really fast and really hard. Now the first lap generally is a fairly steady affair. Oh, Willy Pops from my arse. It's a steady affair, but if someone goes and dives for it, you know, goes on the attack, then it can change very quickly and become very hard. So excuse me. So yeah, so it can be really hard even on the first lap, and then things tend to start to get a bit spicy on lap 2 onwards, and this is an hour-long race. So you know, I'm hoping I can last at least 1 lap. Preferably, I don't know, half a dozen. Be nice, you know, half a dozen laps before I get spat out. I don't know how it's going to go. I really don't. Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I can do is try my best. I've done as much training as I can, specific training rather than just going out and riding. So yeah, done a lot of intervals, and we'll see how we get on. And look, if I fail, if I get dropped and spat out the back on the first lap, then you know I'm not good enough, and I've got to try harder. So the next Darley Moor after this Saturday, I've got another 4 weeks. So you know, I've got another 4 weeks of training, so I'm going to get better. I'm going to do better. That's it. Excuse me. So let's look at where we are. So I'm cruising along, 105 watts. My heart rate's 104. So it's basically, this is the warm up. I've got another 10 minutes of this. I'm not going to let you sit through this, because even for me, I mean, look at me, I'm looking at my phone. Even for me, this was pretty boring, you know, the warm up, and I'm just waiting to get stuck into the efforts. So I'm going to fast forward to the first set of efforts, and we'll see how we go there. All right, hold on to your tights. Okay, so we are now on the first effort. So it's 5 minutes at 250 watts. Now I've just finished doing the warm up where I think I can't remember where it ended, probably about 200 watts or something. So the extra 50 watts is not that bad. It's not that significant. Certainly not straight away. But 250 watts, which is just underneath my threshold, my FTP. That's it's 5 minutes is not a problem. I mean, I will start to feel it at the end of these 5 minutes, but it's something you've got to do. In order, you need to be able to sustain sort of this kind of wattage, really. If you're going to be any good at a crit race, and it's all about excuse me, it's all about the surges. So it's like, going from something fairly steady to something really hard, and then going back down again, and then really hard, and then back down again. That's why the crit training that I did last time, that's why that's so good, because it's really high power, and then nothing, and then high power, and then nothing. Well, I say nothing, it was 200 watts, so it's still something, and then high power and nothing. That's what really helps, because that's what it's kind of like, in essence, that's kind of what it likes. But it's good to do like a 5 minute 250 effort. I might do some more of these, because it puts me in good stead for other things as well, like time trialing, of which I've got a time trial. I've got a 10-mile time trial the week after. So that'll be interesting to see how we get on with that. The last time I did a 10-mile time trial, I was 26:50, so not great, but that was last year. I'm hoping I do better. My diet, as far as my diet goes, I'm actually doing quite well now. Excuse me. I can't remember what I've said to you in the past. I forget. So if I rabbit on about it for a minute and you think, hang on a minute, I've heard all this before, then my apologies, but skip it. I mean, I struggle with my weight. It's it started out this year at 107 kilos. So I was a bit of a chunk, but then I'm 6'3" and quite wide, quite big anyway, and I've managed to lose quite a lot of weight just by looking at what I eat and stuff, and quite quickly within the first month. But then that tends to happen with me anyway. When you at Christmas time, I think I put on about 3 kilos, which was ridiculous. Excuse me. So I had to lose that again, and I made January the 1st. In fact, I'd started a little bit before January the 1st, but on January the 1st, I was 107 kilos. And within the end of the month, I'd lost about 3 kilos, something like half a stone. So that's relatively easy to do if you make a change. It's different to when you want to sustain that change and keep lowering your weight, because it gets really hard. You sort of have a good month, and then you something happens like Easter, and people buy you chocolate eggs even though you say don't. And I don't like wasting food, so I end up eating it, and then all of a sudden you put on a kilo, and it's like, oh god damn it, I've got to get that off again. So it's always been up and down, and it's been hovering around the 102 kilo sort of area. Excuse me. And I was looking at I can't remember names. There's a guy on Dragon's Den, black guy, the young black guy who has a vlog, and he interviews influential people, and they had this Indian chap on who was a doctor, and he and it's not just down to him, other people have said this before, and they recommend fasting. So they say start at 12 hours and then progress. So what I've started doing is I would eat for 12 hours, breakfast, lunch, dinner, Excuse me. Oh, here we go. I've rabbited on a bit. So we've just finished the 250. So this is now the 370. Now it's only for a minute, but you can see that I've attacked this again. I'm not just going to sit back and let it happen. I'm going to attack it. So my cadence has gone up to 83. My heart rate's about 152, but rising, obviously, because it's starting to get hard. I've kind of gone halfway already, so it's, this actually isn't too bad. 370 isn't too bad. I mean, from the crit racing intervals that I did previously, they were at 400 watts. Although that ended up being too much for me, there were quite a few, whereas this is just 1 minute at 370. So yeah, this wasn't too bad, but you can see it's still hard work. Heart rate's at 160, and I'm coming to the end of it, and then it's like 4 minutes rest, which is like happy days. There you go. So I can relax a bit, and I'm like, whew, thank God that's over with. So my heart rate only went up to 162, so that wasn't that bad. So that was okay, but it's still good practice. It's all good. It's all goes into the leg and the bank, and it's all good for you. So where was I? So 12:12. I have my. So I wake up in the morning, wanting me breakfast, and I have my breakfast at maybe 7 in the morning. So I've then got till 7 in the evening to eat. Not what I want, but eat sensibly. Okay, and then I eat nothing from 7 at night till 7 the next morning. So that's your 12 hours fasting, 12 hours eating. And then he recommended progressing to 18.6. Yes, 18.6. So 18 hours fasting, 6 hours eating. Now this has proved more difficult. I'm kind of getting there, but it does prove difficult. So what I'm doing at the moment is it's kind of like I'm skipping breakfast, which is never a good thing, and I've never recommended it. So I've like tonight I finished my evening meal, and I think it was about 6 o'clock. So I've got until the morning, 6 o'clock. That's 12 hours. But if I skip breakfast, then it's midday basically. Oh, windy pops. Midday basically, where I can start eating again. Now today I lasted until about 11, half 11. So I didn't quite make it, but I was nearly there. So I mean, whether it has to be 18 or if it can be 17 or 16, I don't know. But I'm trying to get as close to 18 as I can. Excuse me. They also recommend that the best fasting time scale to lose as much weight, so the best bang for your buck, if you like, is 36 hours. I know, I ain't doing that. 36 hours is crazy. I'm not going to be able to fast for 36 hours. Now, when we say fasting, it means no eating, okay? But you can still drink water. You can still have black tea, black coffee, because that's okay. As long as you don't have milk, that's okay, or sugar of any kind. Or you can have green tea. But excuse me, I've tried green tea, and I've got to be honest, it's vile. It's the most vile thing I've ever drunk. The first time I had it, I thought, well, this isn't too bad, but then I was breathing through my mouth, not my nose, so I couldn't taste it anyway. And as soon as I started breathing through my nose, that was it. It was like, it was one of the most vile things I've ever had. Although green tea is actually very good for dieting, it's supposed to be, I'm not going to do that side of it because it's disgusting. So there you go. So I'm not going to do 36 hours either because that's just too extreme. I'm going to try between 12 and 18, somewhere in the middle. I'll see how I get on day by day, but I'm going to be doing it. What I've got now is a pint of water, because it's night time when I'm doing this, and I do get the munchies at night time, as you all know. Oh, we've just done our 4 minutes, our 4 minutes of chill, and now we're back onto the 250. So hey, and I really did chill. My heart rate went down to 130, so that's good. So I've recovered pretty fully. So now another 250 for 5 minutes. So yeah, so in the evening time, that's my danger time, where everyone's gone to bed, and I'm like, yay, I'm down here on my own, do a bit of YouTube, play a game, I don't know, watch TV, and eat stuff. That's what I used to do, and it was a habit, and even now I just want to go into the kitchen and, I don't know, get some toast and jam or something, and it's like, but there's no reason to, because I'm not actually hungry. So I've got a pint of water, and the other thing he recommended, and I really shouldn't start things that I don't know, because he recommended this oil, and I think it's MCT oil. I can't remember now what it's called. It's like a coconut oil kind of thing, but it's refined in such a way that it's not just a normal coconut oil. It's different to that, and it helps to stop those cravings if you're hungry. I mean, it doesn't necessarily. I don't think it necessarily makes you lose weight, but it stops you feeling hungry, and it does actually. I'm having some of this now. There you go. It's tasteless. I can't taste it. I can feel the oil on my lips, but I can't taste it, because obviously being oil and on water, it'll float. So I can feel it on my lips, but I can't taste it at all. And it does actually stop me from being hungry, so it does help in that sense. And I'm now gone down to 100 kilos with all this fasting, which is good, because I haven't seen 100 kilos in quite a long time. So I'm hoping that in the next couple of days, and hopefully before Darley Moore, I'm going to be under 100 kilos. It'd be nice to get down to about 98 for Darley Moore, and then by the next time Darley Moore comes around, hopefully I'll be around 95. So I'm going to keep going until I get to a decent weight. I don't know what that's going to be yet, because I'm not going to do anything silly. I'm going to do things sensibly, but we'll see how we get on. As far as food is concerned, I'm basically eating as much whole food as I can. Now, I don't want to tell you how to suck eggs, talking of food, but basically it's all whole foods, so it's vegetables, fruit, chicken, which is probably one of the best sources of protein, so you have a lot of protein. So chicken, and I'm doing brown rice. I'm not doing pasta so much, but we have a little bit of pasta. But it's basically chicken and just loads of veg, and not so many potatoes, but still some of those. And I'm not having a Sunday dinner not having a Sunday dinner every day. Don't worry. We have a range of different menus that we make, but what we do it from scratch, and it's none of this oven chip stuff or stuff you wang in the oven, nothing processed. Excuse me. We don't have margarine, we have butter, even though fat wise it's more, but it's better for you because you're not putting oily plastic in your mouth. And loads of eggs as well, which are really good for you, and it's working. Look at your portion size, eat whole foods, eat healthily. If you want something sweet, I have these Muller rice pudding things, which have got a lot of protein. They're protein ones. They've got a lot of protein, and they're gorge, superb. So if you want something sweet, do that. Or you've got apple and banana, which I love as well. A nice crispy apple. Your pink ladies, they are indeed the queens or kings of the crispy appleness. So they're good, and it's working. And I haven't seen it work like this for a long time, so yay me, pat on the back, proud of myself and all that sort of malarkey. But we'll see how it goes on on Saturday at Darley Moor. Now, obviously, I'm going to film it for you lovely people, and we'll see how we go. Now, here we go. This is the second 370. So this is going to get harder. I've just crossed the line, and I'm at my heart rate's at 160 nearly. My cadence is 80, so I'm tacking it again, I can see, but it is starting to hurt. I've just done another 5 minutes at 250, so it's just like it's zone 4, but it's a good feeling. I'm not overwhelmed by this, so I'm doing all right now. My heart rate's going up, obviously, because I'm working hard, and I'm looking at the little map on the top right to see where the archway is, when it's all going to end. But it doesn't matter, because it's still a minute, so it doesn't matter where it is, but it gives me an idea. But I've got 7 seconds. Here it is. So it's 5 seconds more, whatever, and bam, there we go. Relax a bit more. So I've rabbited on about absolute bollocks for long enough. So if you're still listening to this, congratulations, you've made it, or you're just as stupid as I am. So I'm just going to whiz over to the last effort, and then we'll call it a day on this one, I think. So bear with, and we'll do that about, I don't know, now. Right, so we are now about to finish the last sort of 250 effort. I've actually pressed a button somewhere along the line. I don't know what it was. It was on my controller, my clicking cog controller for Zwift, because it went up to 255, which I didn't realise until afterwards. So it's actually a bit harder than it was before. But so I've got about 5 seconds or so of 255, and now bang, there we go. So my heart rate now is at 165 when I cross there, I think. I'm attacking it again. My cadence is around 80, but because my heart rate's at 165, I know that last 250 was actually hard work. I'm out of the saddle, looking at my bulginess. Don't forget, I've lost weight since here. I hope it looks different. I don't know. It's I'm finding it hard. My cadence is now starting to go down. I'm out of the saddle. So this bit hurts, and so it should. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it, wouldn't they? Let's face it. So it hurts, and it's supposed to, but feels the same. You just go faster and all that a lot. That's what I say. That's what Greg LeMond said, and I go with what he said. So there we are. It's all done. Oof, that was hard work, because I went up to 173, 174 heart rate, and my cadence went down to 50. So I struggled. Yeah, there you go. Fisticuffs in the air. Yes, I say yes. Well done me. Pat on the back again. So I struggled with that last one. But I did it. So there you go. I don't know if I'd better do another one, or maybe I could do one more. I don't know. Maybe I'll have a look at that next time. But there you go. So I've got one more. I think I've got one more. Yeah, I've got one more to edit that I filmed. And then I've got tomorrow night. Now, remember, this is Tuesday, the 21st. I will be doing the final interval session before Darley Moor. Now, the rest of the week, I'm just going to sort of chill. I might go. I will go on to sort of spin it out. High cadence and low power just before the race, and we'll see how we go. So wish me luck, and I'll speak to you very soon. And if you haven't subscribed, why not? It's not that hard. No, press the button, press the little bell icon, so that you can get notifications, and I'll speak to you very soon. All right, bye.